Hey, in today's video, we're going to be going over step number 3 for learning fingerpicking for beginners. So let's dive into it right now. Now, if you've been keeping up with the last couple of videos, we did step 1, which was learning straight fingerpicking. And then last week we did step 2 on learning 3/4 time fingerpicking. And today we're finally diving into Travis picking. This is the fingerpicking that most people want to get to. And it was made famous by Merle Travis, which is where it gets its name. Now, just like we did with 3/4 finger picking and straight finger picking, I'm going to give you a simple pattern that you can use for any 6-string chord, and then a simple pattern for any 5-string chord, and then a simple pattern for any 4-string chord. Now, quick review. Your thumb is labeled with a P, your index finger is labeled with an I, and your middle finger is labeled with an M. Those are the only 3 that you're going to need today. And then you just have to know what strings you have, which string is string 6, which string 2, which is string 4, which string, all that fun stuff. So let's start with what pattern you're going to use for 6-string chords. Starting with just a G chord here, what you're going to do is our pattern is going to still just be straight 8th notes. We're still going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, just like we did with straight finger picking. But now, instead of picking straight down through the string and using string 6, 4, 3, 2, and picking that thumb, thumb, index, middle, what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up. Your thumb is going to be jumping back and forth between your 6th string and your 4th string. That's the number one thing to get used to, is your thumb jumping back and forth. So if you need to, take a few minutes and do just this with your thumb, where what you're doing is using the side of your thumb and you're just hitting your 6th string and then your 4th string, and then your 6th string, and then your 4th string. Just go back and forth to really get used to that. Then the pattern that we're going to have is only going to be 4 notes, and we'll repeat it 2 times in each measure. And so the pattern is going to look like this. We're going to pick your 6th string with your thumb, and then your 2nd string with your middle finger, and then your 4th string with your thumb, and then your 3rd string with your 1st finger, your index. So that's 6, 2, 4, 3, and we're doing it thumb, middle, thumb, index. And we're going to repeat that 2 times for each measure that you're doing that. So for a 6-string chord, you're going 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. So we're alternating your thumb, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. Now, if you want to stop here, pause, practice that with a few different 6-string chords, you could just practice changing between G and E minor with that. You could just... But remember, you're just using the side of your thumb, so you want to hinge from this knuckle on your thumb. The rest of your thumb is straight, and it's the side of your thumb closest to you that's just hitting the string. Then with your index and middle, you're curling them up into your hand as if you're forming a fist when you use them. Now, if you have a little bit of fingernail out past the tip of your finger, that'll make it easy. You can use that along with the flesh on the very tip of your finger to pick the string. And doing that will get you a nice clear sound with the string. Now, for a 5-string chord, it's the same idea, except instead of picking on string 6, we're going to do string 5. So it's going to be 5, 2, 4, 3. So if I make just a C chord here, same fingering too. Thumb, middle, thumb, index. Thumb, middle, thumb, index. 5, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. Thumb, middle, thumb, index. Thumb, middle, thumb, index. 5, 2, 4, 3, 5, 2, 4, 3. Then what I like to do is have you practice changing between a 5-string chord and a 6-string chord. So to do that, I like C add 9 right here. So it's my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. And then when I change to G, I just move my 1st and 2nd finger over. My 3rd finger stays in the same place. But that way you can do this. Now remember, you want to practice this slow and then get faster. And you do want to practice doing this fast because a lot of songs using Travis picking use it pretty quickly. So you want to be able to really... Now with a 4-string chord, it's the same idea as before. We're going to be using your 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st strings now. So your hand has to shift just a little bit, but the pattern is the same. We're still going to do 4, and then we're still going to do 4 with your thumb, and then your middle on string 1, and then your thumb on string 3, and then your index finger on string 2. So it's still going to alternate thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index. 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, and that pattern just repeats for every measure. So this is just a D chord, but it works for F2. So practice the 4-string pattern and make sure that you're getting that down. It's pretty much the exact same thing that we did with our 5-string chord, just shifted over a string. That's all. Now, once you got that down though, go ahead and practice changing from a 4-string chord to a 5-string chord, which I like that C add 9 for this. And then to a 6-string chord with your G. And the whole time your ring finger stays in place. Practicing that will get you practice doing the 4-string chord, the 5-string chord, the 6-string chord, and changing between them, which is really good. And that's something that you can just play around people, and they'll think it sounds great. They'll be like, hey, what song is that? And you'll be like, oh, this is something I do, you know? You can take credit for that. I don't care. Now, as far as songs go, when it comes to playing Travis picking, when it comes to the stuff that I listened to and grew up with, and the stuff that a lot of my students want to play, some really great Travis picking songs. Probably the easiest one is We're Gonna Be Friends by the White Stripes, which is featured in the intro to the great movie Napoleon Dynamite, right? I love that movie. It's so funny. And it's actually a little bit simpler version of Travis picking. You're not always alternating with your thumb. Sometimes your thumb just stays on the bass string of whatever chord you're playing. But that's a great one to learn. Another one that is really popular for students to do is Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Now, this is a great song because most of the song is 3 simple chords. You have a standard C chord, you have a G with a B in the bass chord, which I do this with my pinky on the 3rd fret of my 2nd string, and then my 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of my 5th string, and then an A minor 7 chord, which is like an A minor chord. It's my 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, 3rd string is open, and then my 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and the 5th string is open as well. So that way you've got... But that song also uses a variation on Travis picking. It's not just straight. That pattern actually, what I use to teach students at first that gets them on the track to having it sound really good, actually switches your 2nd and 3rd string in the pattern. For Landslide, it's based on 5-string chords. So all of it is basically happening on strings 5, 4, 3, 2 for the main part of the song, right? And that's all I'm going to show you right now. So this is just that C chord, G with a B in the bass, A minor 7, and then it goes back to that G with a B, and then you're back to repeating it, okay? So you're going to start with your C chord with string 5 with your thumb, and then your string 3 with your index, and then string 4 with your thumb, and then your middle finger on string 2, and then really lightly string 5 with your thumb, and then your index on 3, and then your thumb on 4, and then your index on 3 again. So we're only hitting string 2 one time in a measure. So it'll go... And And then you change chords, that G over B, and then A minor 7, and then back to G over B, and then you repeat. And that makes up a lot of that song. Now for Dust in the Wind though, the variation that we're using for Dust in the Wind is you're going to pick your 5th string and your 2nd string at the same time. And what we're doing is we're actually playing 1, 2, and 3, and 4 for this rhythm. So that first note that you're gonna play, you're gonna hold out for a whole beat. So you're using your middle finger and your thumb to pick your 2nd string and your 5th string together. And then we're skipping where we would pick the 2nd string in that first pattern because we just played it, right? So we're gonna pick those two together. And then your thumb is gonna play 4, and then your index on 3. And then the last 3 notes that we're going to do is going to be 3 and 4, where what we're going to do is use your thumb on string 5, then your middle finger on string 2, and then your thumb on string 4. And that last note on string 4, we're just going to hold that out for the whole beat too before we change chords. Now, for the intro, for the very beginning part of the intro, you just lift up on your 1st finger and play that 2nd string open. That makes it a C major 7 chord, and it sounds like this. Then you can put your pinky down on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string, and you have that C add 9 chord. And then put your 1st finger back down for your regular C. So once you get that down, that is a cool variation on Travis picking where we're holding out notes a little bit more and we're playing 2 notes together. And there's a ton of different possible variations that you can do with Travis picking, but just starting with your 6 string pattern, your 5 string pattern, your 4 string pattern, these are really going to set you up so that you can have a lot of fun with your finger picking. Now, a great place where you can get finger picking rhythms that you can apply to your Travis picking and stuff is just from your regular strum patterns. So if you want to learn more about creating your own strum patterns and your own rhythms, go check out this video right here about how to create your own strum patterns in 4/4, and you can use the exact same principle to create your own finger picking rhythms. So that'll spark some creativity for you and give you some different ideas. And I will see you over in this video about creating your own strum pattern rhythms.